Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. I am back, and we are in the second week of this head-to-head battle for week 4 on DraftKings. Last week, I took down Mike the Hitman Wright from the FF Footballers, the Fantasy Footballers, and we, this week, have another special guest. Manny Lora from Awesemo.com and Lineup Study is here to join us to try and draft a head-to-head lineup against me on DraftKings. There's a couple of rules for this format. It is not the normal way that you play a head-to-head on DraftKings, because usually if you're playing a head-to-head, both teams are going to have one or two of the best values. Both teams are probably going to have one or two of the best stud players on the slate. They might even have the same quarterback, which leads to a lot of lineup overlap. In this format, we're using the salaries on DraftKings, and we're going to draft a snake draft. First and 1, second and 2, and then each of us are going to pick one player the rest of the way. Try to fill out a lineup. It gets a little bit hairy once you get into the middle. You got to find values. You got to fit all these players in your slate. You don't want to leave too much money on the table. It's a totally different way to build lineups. And if you want to build these with your friends, set up a head-to-head game against one of them and draft one of these lineups and have a little bit of fun yourselves. It is a very easy way to play this game. It is a very different way to play daily fantasy sports. And I know it's a different way to provide content for you guys about certain picks and players and why we're building a lineup this way. So if you like this video, please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring that notifications bell so that you can be notified anytime I publish new content, because I come out with a lot of it every single week on DraftKings. So without any further ado, I want to bring in today's guest, Manny Lora from beautiful downtown Miami. How you feeling today, Manny?
Good, man. Awesome. Thanks for the intro. More of my stuff at Fantasy Cruncher, not awesome. I just do the radio show, but other than that, we're good to go, man. I feel great. First time, I think, doing a stream with you live. I think this is pretty cool.
We've played a bunch of video games together.
I can't wait, dude.
Yeah, you've been on my stream playing video games before, killing basically everything that's been out there to be eliminated. But first time that we've done a DFS stream together. So why don't you go through and tell everybody, because you do a ton of content on a bunch of different platforms: radio, Twitch, YouTube. Obviously, you're on all the social media channels. Why don't you tell all my viewers where they can find your stuff?
Yeah, for sure. So they can follow me most closely on Twitter at MLora, like my name, for Manny Lora. You can find most of my work on Fantasy Cruncher. I am one half of the brains behind what is Lineup Study, what I consider one of the better tools. And then you can find podcasts, the Study Minute, which I talk about a bunch of stuff I research every day with my Twitch stream, my Twitch chat. And then you can find my live streams right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/MLora. YouTube, I do some YouTube stuff, nowhere near as good as you, man, but we're on the grind, man. We're on the NFL grind. It's a lot of fun. Everything's a lot of fun. It's just, you know more than I do. It's a ton of work. So yeah, we're trying to stay grounded and trying to continue the grind each and every day. It's a lot of fun, man.
It really is. I wouldn't say that my content's good. I also don't think it's bad. My content's right there in the middle. I put out a ton of average content every single week, and to me, that's good enough. As long as I can keep putting out average content, I feel like I'll be fine. Manny has selected, our guest always gets to choose A, the stakes that we're playing for, and B, my guest gets to choose whether they want first and 1 or second and 2. Manny has said that he wants me to pick first on this week's slate. So I'm going to be picking first. And also, he has decided that he wants to play for 25 gifted subs on Twitch. So both of us stream on Twitch every single week, or I stream 6 days a week. So does Manny. Some of the days for him, he goes, he doubles up, does double duty, 2 streams a day. So we're basically always live. And maybe one day Twitch, if there's somebody at Twitch listening, they might put back that fantasy sports category, because, you know, we have a few more viewers than something like Engineer, or what is it? Is it Astroneer?
Yeah, right.
The top Astroneer streamer in the world has 3 concurrent viewers, and they have their own category, and we don't. So I'm going to go first. There's a lot of stuff that's got to go into this, right? So do I pick a quarterback first? Probably not. Do I pick a running back first? Maybe. I'm on team late QB.
I'm trying to bait you into a QB, which is why I let you go first.
I was thinking about going defense first, but I'm gonna steer clear of that. I'm gonna avoid that landmine.
That would be next level, to be honest.
Right? Just go defense first and just make your opponent. What's even going on here? I don't even understand. I think that this is the last week that I'm going to be able to get this cat at this cheap a price. I'm not a car guy, Manny, but I do enjoy a nice fast car every once in a while. And I'm going to take the F1 at 4,500. Another touchdown this week from Terry McLaurin on Monday Night Football. 24 targets through 3 games. Great usage in the red zone and a ton of end zone targets so far. And playing against the Giants, who basically give up everything to opposing wide receivers. I'm going to take the value just like I did last week. And for me, it's Terry McLaurin.
That's very good, man. Oh. I'm kind of envious. I really am.
Yeah. Thought I was going to leave him there for you, didn't you?
Oh, man. Okay, so I had a few tricks up my sleeve, and Terry McLaurin was one of them. Dude, this is difficult. All right, so I get 2 picks now. Is how I see this, right?
You get 2 picks.
All right. I also don't think quarterback is the way to go in the beginning. I'm also team late round QB. I thought I could bait you in, but that didn't work. I am going to go with Evan Ingram as my first pick.
Okay. Evan Ingram. Against Washington.
It's just a matchup thing for me, right? Obviously, no Saquon's a huge thing. I don't know how good Wayne Gallman's going to do, to be honest, right? And I think he will be a price play this week on DK. So I think that's interesting to see how we play Wayne Gallman against each other. But I think for sure Evan Ingram, the volume's just there. I mean, he's clearly one of I think the best wideout period on that team. So if Daniel Jones can hit him, which for now he can, I think we're good to go there. And I think I like that tight. I think there's probably only 2 viable tight ends, in my opinion. I think that's one of them. I'll probably leave you the other if you want to go that way. The other one, my next pick, will be give me DeAndre Hopkins.
D-Hop. All right.
D-Hop. Yeah.
Going up against Carolina. They play very, very fast-paced. So talk to me about D-Hop and why you like him.
Yeah, I mean, the targets are always going to be there, number one. It's a running game that for me has been okay this season, but I don't think they rely on it nearly as much as they should, and they just continue to pass. D-Hop for me is pretty much a double-digit target guy every week, outside of 2 and 3 this week, which I think you could argue week 2 was a really tough matchup for him, right? And then last week, I think just barely squeaked out. It's one of those plays where the price for me has kind of died down from 8,200 in week 1. Now it's down to 77. I like the value and arguably the best wide receiver in the game, right? So for me, I like the start I have. I think D-Hop sets me up for kind of what I think I could do potentially later in our head-to-head. So fine first 2 picks for me.
All right. Well, let me see who I'm going to take here. I know you love Miami. I know you do. But I want to stream as many players against Miami as I possibly can every single week.
Fair enough.
And this might be the last week that we get to play somebody like Austin Eckler, with the reports that Melvin Gordon III might report later this week. That's a whole other discussion that Chat and I were talking about before we started this recording. Austin Eckler is getting a good amount of volume, and this column right here, targets and receptions, right? Very, very steady. You know that efficiency is going to jump up anytime that you're playing against the Miami Dolphins this year. A lot of big plays allowed. Eckler going to be very involved in the passing game. Very truncated passing target tree. It basically goes to Austin Eckler and it goes to Keenan Allen first and foremost before anything else. To me, this is probably the best running back play on the slate. I am happy to get him here at the 4th pick overall. I'm going to take Austin Eckler and plug him in, and I'll try and find some value somewhere else. Your pick.
Interesting.
I
have an idea.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
Okay. I'm listening.
Are you getting another one or my turn? It's 1-1,
no, it's your
right?
turn. It's 1-1-1 the rest of the way.
Okay. Oh man, this is close.
It's hard, right? This is not an easy way to play.
This is so much fun.
It's totally different. It's a totally different way to play daily fantasy.
Sure. I actually kind of like this a little bit.
Okay.
Give me CMC.
Okay. All right. Christian McCaffrey. So you basically are kind of game stacking this game. You want it to shoot out, right? Two very high volume, probably the highest volume players overall in that game.
Yep.
All right. I like CMC there. I was probably going to take him at the next pick if you didn't. Sticking with that game, I'm going to go with another value play in that game. I'm going to go with another value play here. And I'm going to wait and I'm going to load up later whenever I can. If I can find this game on the slate. Forget it. Don't need to find it. Over 30 routes run in each of their games so far this year. Playing a ton of snaps. Playing a ton of snaps. And Carolina allowing so many deep throws to be completed and attempted. I think this is the week that Will Fuller finally brings one of those in with his 18-plus yard ADOT and really cashes in for me at a value price. This is more of a tournament play for me usually than a cash game play, but I'm going to leverage all your usage in that Texans game against Carolina, and I'm going to make you sweat anytime Watson throws one deep. 125 and at least a touchdown for Will Fuller this week. Plug him in.
You know, I had my 4-man stack ready to rock, right?
Yeah, I kind of blocked you there.
Oh, man.
I'm playing a little tic-tac-toe out here. I'm not letting you get that 3 in a row. That's not happening.
That's really, really close. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Damn, that put me in a really tough position.
Chat just said combo breaker.
Damn, that really put me in a tough position. Give me wow.
Talk your way through. You got 4,600 left, average remaining per player. Obviously you have a defense, so you can kind of wiggle some extra average salary there.
Yeah, for sure.
You've got 2 studs and a stud tight end.
I think I got this. Give me Daniel Jones.
Danny Dimes,
yeah.
All right, so you're saving at quarterback, something that I liked. I know that this is very foreign to you, playing cash
City
game
of progress, man.
style,
City of
right?
progress.
Very foreign for you for cash game type plays, but you get that combo with Daniel Jones to Evan Ingram. I like that. Obviously, you get a little bit of lineup correlation there. So Daniel Jones plugging into your lineup at 5,300, one of the better values at quarterback this week. All right, so you're locked into quarterback, so I don't even have to draft the QB until my final pick. So that's nice. That's one less thing I have to worry about. I really kind of wanted to go team jam him in here, but you took that off the board, which is fine. I could go Kelsey.
You can. I left you Kelsey.
Left me Kelsey. I could go with the Walrus, right?
Yeah.
Goo Goo Kachu. I could take Darren Waller here. Ran over 80% routes on his quarterbacks dropbacks last week and has been over 80 or at 79% each of the first 3 weeks. Tremendous there. I'm not going to fill out my wide receiver slot. I think I want to take another running back. And I've been on this guy's team all season long. I've been on this team all season long. Through draft season and everything else. I love the volume. I know he's not super involved in the pass game. That's just not his forte, but he is running a lot of routes, so the possibility for catches is there. Home, favored by about a touchdown. I'm going to take Marlon Mack at 6,100. I think there's good enough value there to allow me some money to spend at other positions. I don't have to worry about taking a quarterback, as you already did. Give me Marlon Mack. I got Eckler and Mack, McLaurin and Fuller, and I'm feeling good because I got money to spend and I can wait on a QB. You're up.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna drag you into the deep water and drown you, Manny.
Yeah, I see that. You've been pretty good so far. Give me Sterling Shepard.
Okay. Going for the double stack. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, no, you blocked me once, so I'm trying to finesse my way back into a stack. It's really what I'm trying to do. It's obviously not a bad matchup anyway, so this is actually perfect. I like saving at QB too. I am team cheap QB. I'm always there. Anytime I can get 2 pass catchers with my QB, I love it. I go for the risk. Listen, you baited me into a cash game. Doesn't mean I'm gonna play in a cash game lineup, right? I'm still gonna go my style, man.
I'm with you.
This is still a team stack for me. Sterling Shepard and Ingram are his 2 best targets. So hopefully we could repeat week 3. Why not?
Look, you know that there's targets that are there to be had because Saquon's gonna leave 15 to 20% of the market share of targets. And a lot of those are going to get eaten up by Ingram and Shepard. I think you have the 2 biggest targets for Daniel Jones. He does have the ability to push the ball downfield that Eli does not have at this age. And Washington allowing a lot of deep completions this year and a lot of touchdowns on deep completions this year. So expect the ADOT for people like Evan Ingram and Shepard to rise with Danny Dimes at quarterback. All right. Look. It may not be a cash game approach, but that doesn't mean it's a bad lineup. You got a lot of volume with McCaffrey and Hopkins and Shepard and Ingram. It's a good lineup, right? It may not be the prototypical lineup generator, optimal lineup for the week, but that's not what's important. It's about volume. It's about touchdown equity. It's about points and lineup correlation. I think that you have it. So not a bad lineup start at all. For me, I think that there's one dude that I probably roster way more than everybody else in the daily fantasy community, and that's Cooper Kupp. I'm not letting you pick him in your flex spot. I'm not letting you take him away from me. The Rams at home, Jared Goff at home. 2 big keys to them scoring a ton of points. And Cooper Kupp with 31 targets through 3 games, also leading the Rams in terms of red zone looks. So far this season, Tampa Bay allowing a ton of yards against to opposing wide receivers, as well as deep plays, yards after catch. This is a great matchup for Cooper Kupp. 6,500. I'm in. Sign me up.
Yeah, good play. I obviously love that play. By the way, I have Cooper Kupp in so many season-long teams, and I'm laughing to the bank in all of them. I absolutely love this cat.
There was a lot of trepidation coming into the season with him coming back from that ACL injury, and he was going 3rd behind Cooks and Woods in a lot of drafts. And right now, people wish that they had not been so careful with Cooper Kupp in draft season.
Yep, you're 100% right. All right, so so I have Danny Jones with his 2 pass catchers, CMC and Hopkins. I'm in ultimate saving mode right now, if you can't tell, right? I don't have much left. Okay, I think I might have a trick up my sleeve for you.
All right, let's hear
it. Give me. Ooh, I think. Dang. This is so close. I either want to target. I don't know if I want to target against Seattle and have a piece of Christian Kirk because he kind of fits my budget. Or
it's a good play.
I'm on Kenny Golladay too.
Also a good play this week.
And I think I could fit both with. I think what I can do at running back. Actually, let me do this. You know what?
Yeah.
Let me do this. You played me in taking my first stack. I'm going to play you and make you sweat Eckler. Give me Justin Jackson.
Justin Jackson. All right. Talk me through this one because for me, I know that the matchup's great and maybe he sees more carries in a game or more touches in a game where they blow out and maybe they bench the starters. But we talked about this yesterday on stream. For me, I think Justin Jackson is a good value. There might be touchdown upside there, but this is a risk for me with the amount of touches he has. Talk me through this one.
Yeah, no. So for me, it's Miami. First of all, I mean, if you ever just let someone at least take some snaps away, it'd probably be this week, right? Anyway, last week he was almost at 60-40 when you're talking offensive snaps, right? And watching the game, I felt like I just saw him a little bit more than usual, which is weird. They use Justin Jackson and Eckler at the same time sometimes too. So I actually don't mind this. And if on a random drive it is Justin Jackson that's in the game for a little bit and he does happen to pull off big runs. Listen, we saw Tony Pollard have 100 yards rushing against the same Miami team. I feel like anyone can score at any given time. And if you have the best player here, which I still think you do, Eckler is the best player. I'm willing to go Miami variance against you, and hopefully Justin Jackson gets in. It's also a value play because I need to save money too.
Yeah, you did need to save a little bit of money. Totally understandable. Went off of your volume train a little bit, but
sure.
Justin Jackson, if he scores, and he could score twice against this Miami team, because everybody can score twice against this Miami team. Every player's got 2 touchdown upside. If that one pays off, it's going to be difficult for me to pull this off. But it's time. Manny, do you know what a flow chart is?
Yeah. Do you play? Okay, so you play these guys against. Oh, come on.
Are the Arizona Cardinals on this slate, Manny? Do the Seattle Seahawks employ a tight end? Do they have one on their roster?
Yeah, he goes by Will Dissly.
He's by the name of Will Dissly. So I'm going to play him in the hopes of profiting here at 3,600, which is going to do 2 things for me. It's going to open up a lot of salary. They just traded their backup tight end. Now they may bring somebody else in this week or whatever, but 7 targets last week, 5 the week before, and he is high up on this team in their target tree once they get inside the red zone, and has 3 or 4, I forget, don't quote me right now, somebody can go fact check me and they'll probably tell me in the comments exactly how many end zone targets he has, but I believe it's either 3 or 4 through 3 weeks. There will be many trips to the red zone. He does have one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the history of NFL football at touchdown conversion rate and touchdown rate inside the red zone, not just overall. Give me Will Dissly and all the touchdown upside to counter your Justin Jackson and touchdown upside that he has there, and give me a lot more money to spend later. I'm liking the way that my lineup is turning out. I've still got a defense to pick, which is going to boost that average remaining player salary as well. I can pick whatever quarterback I want, and I got a flex left, Manny. What you gonna do when Smizmania runs wild on you?
Oh man, this one's tough. I'm actually gonna. I think I'm gonna go defense here. Give me the Broncos. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with everything else. So yeah, I'll take the Broncos. Listen, I think it's an okay salary. I mean, 2,900 I think is all right. I actually really like the matchup at home against Jacksonville. Are you a believer in the mustache? I think he's okay, but I don't think he's that good.
Exactly. I think you nailed it. I think he's okay. I think he's completing a lot of passes, but he's not really challenging downfield a ton.
Correct.
And if this offense struggles and gets behind in Denver, is a totally different place to play than it's like going to Kansas City. Playing in Arrowhead is a different place to play than anywhere else. This is a big test for him against that defense for the Broncos.
Yeah, for sure. I can see a couple turnovers, maybe even a touchdown. Yeah, why not? I'll take it. Under 3K works for me.
All right. Well, 4,800 remaining, 4,850 per player for a wide receiver and a flex for you. We kind of know, I think we know a little bit about where you might be going. Going back to my team. I can afford pretty much anything that I want.
You can afford anything. This is
I can afford anything I want. I can't get Christian McCaffrey. I don't have a QB. I don't need a QB. I got plenty of QBs I can take.
Right.
I'm good there. But you know what? I think I'm going to go after a defense. And I think I can afford any defense I want. So if I plug in the Chargers, that basically gives me whatever it is that I want at the rest of the positions. And I think that I get the best defense on the board this week, which basically means they're playing against Miami and Josh Rosen and that offensive line. Big time turnover upside, big time sack upside, very high floor of points. Are they at home? Who cares? They're playing the Dolphins. Give me Miami. I'll take that 6,500 average remaining per player for my flex and my quarterback. And we'll see what you do with this next pick. And then it gives me time to decide. It's a stall pick, Manny, but I like it.
Yeah, I try to use the stall pick too. Try to bait you into at least moving the needle one way or another. You did not. Okay. This is pretty fun. This is very challenging.
I'm telling you, it's not as easy. Oh yeah, you just pick a lineup, you just draft. Yeah, you try it with salaries and not knowing where your opponent's going to go. I honestly thought I was going to get CMC and Eckler in this one, but you took CMC and that took him off my plate.
Yeah. Okay. Manny, think. I don't have that much salary. This is annoying. I kind of know what I want to do at the last running back spot. Maybe I'm torn between two guys. You're not going to pick either one. So I think I can go to wide receiver. Wide receiver here is interesting. I'm thinking Manny Sanders. Don't love the matchup. It's not terrible. I have money for Jarvis. DeMarcus Robinson, if I wanted to go for a home run. Don't think I'll go there either. This is tough, man. I'm honestly between Christian Kirk and maybe Calvin Ridley. I am going to go with Christian Kirk.
Very high floor for Christian Kirk. Tons of targets, low ADOT targets, very easily to convert in those into catches. I think he's had over 80% of his targets have turned into catches the last 2 games. 5,100 gives you a good value play there. You still have a flex left that you can play around with, and 4,600 with which to play. All right. Not bad. I like the volume there. I do like the volume there. I have so much money.
What are you going to do with all this money, Al?
I don't know.
Tell me.
I have not yet decided. I could just take Patrick Mahomes and then spend 5,500 on a flex. I could do that.
You could.
That is a thing that I could do, Manny, and you can't even stop me. I mean, theoretically, I usually would want to go like Russ Wilson here. That leaves me with 6,900 for my flex. I have all these different cats that I could choose from in that range. It gives me a lot of upside. It gives me a lot of pace because Seattle playing up in pace against Arizona. Or I could go for the second week in a row and just take Patrick Mahomes, and say 25-point floor, and let's see if you can catch up, right?
Pretty much.
To me, it's one of those two guys. I'm going to leave my flex. And I think that Seattle could get it done. God, but Mahomes in Detroit.
I mean,
this could be a trap spot. Yeah, but this could be a trap spot for Mahomes. As much as it's just play Mahomes every week. I mean, I could also just be a jerk and take Deshaun.
Or that, and that too. That would get me really angry, honestly. That would get me really angry.
The tilt factor would also, that's not a bad play to just tilt the hell out of you. Just tilt your face constantly.
So I was going for Deshaun from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And you made me not do this.
I mean, there's a lot of different routes that I can go. I think that the one that gives me the most upside here, and all 3 of those quarterbacks are great. All 3 of those quarterbacks are great. But there's nobody that I can really spend the money on if I go with Russ Wilson in the flex. So I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes for the second straight week on the road in a dome. No weather to worry about. Detroit's front 7 is tough, but Darius Slay could miss this game. Although he is a very, very good cornerback, there's not much else back there. And we just watched before we went live a Patrick Mahomes highlight reel. I'm just going to keep taking Patrick Mahomes as long as y'all let me have him. I don't even need to pair him with anybody. I just want those 3 touchdowns and 300 yards. So I'm just going to stack those up. I'll take my flex next. I got 5,500 to spend, and it's on you for a $4,600 flex. We're not even spending in the same range right now.
Oh man, this is so hard. Yeah, we're not even close. I'm between 2, maybe 3 guys. I don't have any other person left. All the other guys aren't really viable. So I actually don't have many options at all.
You got a pretty good option here.
I have an okay option.
You have an okay option. That's true.
This is so difficult. There's one that I could do double tight end. I'm not going to do double tight end. If I want to run it back from my main stack, I could choose between either AP or Chris Thompson. I think I'm leaning Chris Thompson.
Okay.
And then only because I think they lose. And then if I wanted to be really off the board and continue my trying to play against you, I can maybe get in Kenyon Drake, who got in a little more work since Kalen Ballage is horrendous.
You like the Drake?
I think I'm going. Give me Chris Thompson.
Chris Thompson going for the passing game upside, chasing from behind. He's going to get looks in that Redskins passing game. Always an option, especially when they're chasing, and usually they are. you're hoping that this game shoots out. You've got the bring back player with your double stack. Chris Thompson fills out your lineup. Daniel Jones, Christian McCaffrey, Justin Jackson, Hopkins, Shepard, Kirk, Ingram, Chris Thompson, and the Broncos defense. I got a flex for 5,500. Sony Michel, nah. Stephon Diggs, definitely still an American hero, but not getting any usage at all. So I'm probably not going to go with him. Kerryon Johnson, however, saw 80% of the running back usage last week for the Lions, is 5,400, and playing against the Fantasy Carnival, that is the Kansas City Chiefs, and playing at home. Should be a little bit more involved in the passing game this week. Will not get 20 carries. I think that he's a good play, but I also think that there's a little bit of question about what he can or cannot do there. I'm going to do something completely different. Give me the Walrus.
Whoa,
Darren
really?
Waller. 2 tight ends in this play for me. This guy is just a wide receiver. He's a wide receiver, Manny. He's not even somebody that like I have to worry about, well, is he going to block? No, he's run routes over 80% of the quarterback's dropbacks, 2 straight weeks, 79.4 or whatever he ran in week 2 on the quarterback's dropbacks, on Carr's dropbacks. He's just never blocking. If they're passing, he's running a route and he's catching the ball over 40% of the time, or targeted over 40% of the time on those routes that he runs. So he is one of the major weapons on this Raiders squad. They, I think, are going to be playing from behind and have to play a little bit of catch up. Tons of volume, has not yet found the end zone, and has not scored under 10 points in any week this year. Maybe I'm chasing a little bit. I'm not expecting 14 targets out of him, but a really good floor for me here with the other ceiling guys that I have. I don't have the money to afford somebody like Lockett or somebody like that in that range, or even Chris Carson if you wanted to take that trust fall with Chris Carson in that running game this week against Arizona. But give me Darren Waller. I think he's a safe play, albeit a tight end in the flex, something I don't normally do. I'll take it. Ending my lineup with Mahomes, Eckler, Mack, McLaurin, Will Fuller, Cooper Kupp, Will Dissly, the Walrus, and the Chargers defense. Manny, thank you for joining us once again. Thank you for joining me on this stream. Viewers, thank you for joining us once again. I appreciate you guys watching all these videos. Leave me a message down in the replies down below and let me know who you think is going to win this game and by how much. Everybody started setting spreads last week, and I thought that was kind of cool. If they thought that I was going to win, they said, oh, Al by 12, or if you think Manny's going to win, tell me I think Manny's going to win this game by about 7 or win by 15. A lot of different ways that we can go with it. Tell us what you think of those picks in the replies, and if you would be so kind, drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you ring that notifications bell so you can get notified as soon as I come out with new content, as I seem to do every single day of the week during NFL. Until next time, bye everybody.